Hey folks, patch 11.25 is just a day or two away. The main feature of course is Legion Remix, but there are actually a few other changes coming as well, some of which are quite big. I'll be covering it all, so do stay tuned. But let's start off with the main course, which is Legion Remix. Legion Remix sees us return to the Broken Isles to relive one of World of Warcraft's most beloved expansions at a much faster pace, similar to Mists of Pandaria Remix. You will be able to create a special time runner character to relive the majority of Legion's content, including Suramar, the Broken Shore, and eventually even Argus. Mythic Plus and raiding is also making a return, and thanks to a greatly accelerated pace of power acquisition, you can expect to be pushing that content higher and faster than you normally can. Legion is releasing in a series of 2-week-long phases, which roughly line up with the original Legion's major patches, with Phase 1 including the Broken Isles leveling zones, Suramar and the Emerald Dream, Phase 2, the second part of Suramar and the Nightfall Raid, Phase 3, the Broken Shore and Tomb of Sargeras, and Phase 4, Argus and the Antorus Raid. And this is all being capped off with a final phase called Infinite Echoes, which promises extra rewards and boosts to our power acquisition. While it's not 100% confirmed, data mining suggests that Legion will end in January the 19th, at which point your remix characters will be converted to normal World of Warcraft characters. And if you don't want to wait that long, you will be able to convert them early, but with Legion Remix being completely isolated from the rest of the game, this will be a one-way trip if you take it. Now, there are some major changes to expect in Legion Remix. While the old artifact weapons will be returning, they now all share the same artifact trait tree, offering you a choice of 5 possible paths, including Nature, Fell, Arcane, Storm or Holy Light. And that is capped off with a brand new infinite trait, which offers primary stats and 1% versatility per step. And with completely uncapped secondary stats and no diminishing returns, this will allow you to push your power to totally crazy levels. In the open world, we're getting a brand new variable difficulty system with a new heroic world tier, which increases enemy power while also offering better rewards. And there are going to be brand new daily quests, which will allow you to select a daily objective for bonus rewards and better gear. Rewards though are not just about power progression, with a huge number of new and returning cosmetic rewards to collect, with the event currency of bronze. Sadly for many, the Mage Tower and the old Mage Tower artifact appearances are not returning though, nor is the old Underlight Angler fishing rod or many PvP appearances. One thing though that I do think no one will be sad about missing out on is the old mission table missions. Those have also been removed, which means there's no more having to wait several days in order to progress your Order Hall campaign. I do have a couple of deep dive videos covering the artifact weapon and player power systems, which I will link below. Legion Remix does not mean that the usual seasonal content is over and done with, as the successful seasonal turbo boost from Season 2 is making a return. With the launch of the new patch, Hero and Myth Track gear is getting that 2 extra upgrade levels, going from 6 steps to 8. And you will also be able to obtain augmentation matrices to recraft your crafty gear for 6 extra item levels. Unfortunately though, for the rest of Turbo Boost, you are going to have to wait a couple of weeks until the week of October the 21st. With the launch of Turbo Boost proper, and we'll see the removal of the crest caps, allowing you to put all of those low level crests you've been accumulating to good use, boosting your gear, along with Valor Stones becoming Warband transferable, and Catalyst charges will now have an additional chance to drop from Raid, Delves, Rated PvP and Mythic Plus. And if that is not a big enough boost of power for you, Puzzling Cartel chips are also making a return. Completing a weekly quest to defeat 4 raid bosses in normal difficulty above or 4 mythic dungeons will award you 3 chips in week 1 and 1 chip every subsequent week to a maximum of 9. These can be spent in vendors to obtain weapons, trinkets and cantrip items from the Season 3 dungeons and raids. Each item will cost 3 chips, allowing you to obtain 3 items in total. For the hero track dungeon and raid items, you will be required to have defeated the associated bosses in normal difficulty or above. And for myth track gear, the raid items will also require that you defeat the raid boss on mythic difficulty. And the myth track dungeon items will require timing all Season 3 Mythic Plus dungeons on a plus 12 or above. And for Delvers, Turbo Boost will bring buffs to Delver's Journey Progress, Valor Stones and Crest Drops. And doing Tier 9 Delves or above will also grant a chance to get a Champion 1 out of 8 Warbound equipment, with the Tier 9 and above Bountiful Delves also dropping a new currency that can be spent for Hero Track Delve trinkets. One thing that Blizzard did not mention in their announcement is the possible return of the Warbound Mythic Plus gear chests that can be purchased from Valor Stones. But on the PTR, the vendor Agmera, who stands next to the Mythic Plus Porto and Donegal, is offering that chest, which was dropping item level 681 champion gear. So I'm pretty confident that this will indeed feature when Turbo Boost launches. Now, if you're still using the Season 2 Titan Disc belt, I do hope that you've hung on to any other belt drops, as this is finally getting a flat 20% nerf. This will almost certainly mean that for most specializations, you will want to finally replace it as soon as you get an equal or higher item level waste that drops. If you're right now regretting vendoring a waste, then I'll put a link to Blizzard's self-service item recovery tool down below so that you can get it back. Along with Turbo Boost and Remix, there are a couple of other smaller changes in the pipeline as well. Recent Allies is a brand new tab added to the social pane, and this will show you players that you've recently grouped up with, be it for Raid, Mythic Plus or whatever. Which means that if you forget to add that really nice tank that blasted your last key, you can still track them down for another run. And if you're worried about people using it to follow you in game, there is a new option to remove your location from other players' recent allies tab. And finally, if you are someone who has been looking for an alternative to weak orders to track your cooldowns and buffs, the in-game Cooldown Manager has had a fairly major makeover, with the addition of a comprehensive suite of customizations and the addition of buff tracking. The new customizations now allow us to pick and choose which cooldowns and buffs that we track, and we're also able to choose which are tracked with bars and which with icons. There are still some strange gaps in what is available. For example, Protection Paladin's Argent Shield is missing on the PTR currently, but the team are promising further updates in Midnight, so this may be a good time to give it another try. And that's it for my patch 11.2.5 preview. I'll be super interested to hear what you're most excited about to dive into. Are you heading back to Legion for that power fantasy? Or do you have some unfinished business in Season 3? Let me know down below. If you found this update helpful, entertaining, and even just plain annoying, then let me know by hitting that like icon. And if you want to support my channel to grow and help me to make more of these videos, along with my other content, then hit that subscribe button right now before you forget. And if you don't want to miss out whenever I release a new video, then as well as subscribing, you can follow me in social media for updates. My link's in the description below as well. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.